South Africa's public protector said on Wednesday that President Jacob Zuma, quote, benefited unduly from a $23 million state-funded security upgrade to his private home. In a damning report released 6 weeks before elections, South Africa's top anti-corruption watchdog accused Zuma of conduct that was, quote, inconsistent with his office. The watchdog also said he should repay a reasonable part of the cost of the unnecessary renovations, which included a swimming pool, cattle enclosure and amphitheatre. Tuli Madonsela's report painted a picture of government incompetence and flouting of normal tender procedures. Madonsela described the cost overruns as exponential and said ministers had handled the project in an appalling manner. Well, for all the latest on that, I'm now joined by our correspondent Guy Henderson, who's been following events on the ground for us. Guy, a pretty damning report there. Is President Zuma likely to comply with repaying some of the costs deemed unnecessary by the public protector?
Well, he's going to have to. There are a set of fairly stringent remedial actions which have been ordered by the public protector, first of which is that he will have to firstly go and talk to his ministers in the relevant departments involved in this Nkandla project, the police minister, Nathi Mthethwa, the Minister of Public Works, and they'll have to agree on what constitutes a reasonable amount of money. So there is no actual amount specified in this report, just that Mr. Zuma should repay a reasonable amount of the costs, and we'll have to see whether to what extent the public protector is prepared to step in at a later stage should that cost be deemed unreasonable by certain parties. He's going to have to discipline ministers whose departments were cited as having acted unlawfully in this report, and then departments are going to have to familiarise themselves with the law, exactly what can and cannot be spent by the state when it comes to security measures. And there is a strict implementation line. Mr. Zuma is going to have to report back to Parliament in 14 days. And on the 1st of May, just a few days before the election, he's going to have to come back to the public protector with an exact plan of how to implement those measures that he's going to propose for remedial action.
It's taken 28 months, faced constant delays and apparently deliberate obstruction. No wonder, given the findings, that millions of dollars of public money was misused to upgrade the president's private home.
The conduct of organs of state involved in managing the Nkandla project, particularly the officials from DPW, who failed to comply with supply chain management prescripts, was unlawful and constitutes improper conduct and maladministration.
An original stated budget of just over $2.5 million, then spiralling to more than 20 million. Mostly, claims the report, after Zuma hired his own architect, skirting due process. Much of the cost on items not essential for the president's security, claims Madonsela. A swimming pool, for example, and a cattle kraal. Some of the money was found to have been diverted from other public works projects.
Now, since this homestead became so contentious, journalists are being warned to keep their distance. But back in November 2009, a reporter from a national newspaper came here on an unrelated assignment, spotted the development and walked straight in through the front gate. He started taking photographs, and little could he have imagined the scale of the scandal he'd stumbled upon.
Coming back to bite the ruling party at the worst possible time, right in the heart of an election campaign. Government departments broke the law, the report has found, and though there's no evidence the president himself did too, his conduct in tacitly accepting the upgrades, even after reports emerged of excessive spending, has been deemed unethical.
The only evidence uncovered suggests that the owner was informed, or attempts were made to inform him, of his partial payment obligations. Is the document purporting to be a apportionment document that we now have, but we're not sure if he got it.
The president's been ordered to pay back a reasonable sum and take action against those involved. Departments must report back on the 1st of May, 6 days before voters head to the polls. One issue will dominate in the build-up to Election Day, with the president of the country at its centre. Guy Henderson, CCTV, Pretoria, South Africa.